Hi, I'm Tom Hayes. We're back again for our sixth interview and show. This is Upbeat, that's the name of the show, and of course Bobby's still here. And you wanted me to lead off with Plum Island.
I used to be able to run, and unfortunately this knee has been beaten into, you know, I don't want to get too graphic for people. I can't run anymore, but the thoughts of running.
Well, tell them, you ran your last marathon at the age of 66.
66, yeah. And I tried Boston in 10, and 10 miles later, I was taking a bus back to, they get medical tents where you stop. You know, I ran 17 Bostons.
17 marathons.
30 overall, but 7, I love Boston. It's coming up right now, we're April 9th, it's the marathon. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. So it drives me nuts. So last week, I was thinking, my God, Plum Island is a barrier beach up near up in Newburyport. It's about a 6-mile stretch. It's absolutely brilliant. And every April 1st, they shut it down to give the birds a chance to nest without being crushed by the 4x4s. And I go, all right, last Saturday, I got one more shot at walking Plum Island, and the brain and body don't communicate too well. The brain thinks it's 20, the body knows it's over. So I said, I'll take the 6 down, I'll walk the road back. Okay, so 6 miles down, having a ball, no problem, a little discomfort, but nothing really to the point where I'd be pooping. So now, I turn around at the tip, and I look around, gorgeous, you know, all the birds, and people birders with their binoculars, and I turn around. Now I got 6 miles back to my vehicle. About, let me see, 3 miles short of the vehicle, the pain of the left knee, oh God, I was stretching it, you know, trying to get it to, so I'm literally dragging this leg for 3 miles. And there are vehicles going by constantly. And you could tell when the speed of it by the way they hit the gravel with the tires. Well, I can hear the next vehicle is not going fast. In fact, it's stopping. And I look over, and this old gentleman looks at me. He goes, "You all right?" I goes, "Oh, I'm fine. Everything's okay." "No, you're not." "Well, I know I got a little problem." "What's the problem?" "I got a bad knee from running long distances." "Well, get in the car. I'll give you a ride to the vehicle." "No, get in the car." I couldn't believe this guy. I was crying from laughing. I'm going, "All right, I'll get in the car." Now, he opens this door. There's 40 empty packages from Market Basket. What the hell? I don't know what the hell he had in there. Throw it all in the back. Okay, there was a decent vehicle. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm trying to stretch it because it did hurt. He goes, "What the hell's the matter with you?" How old are you?" I goes, and I'm 70. I go, "Jesus." He goes, "What? You got no common sense." He says, "I got 2 hips, 2 artificial hips from running. That's what happens to you. You're 70, learn." He says, "I'm 87. I'm like, okay, just how many more miles to get to the car? This guy is on a rant. He goes, "You got a cell phone?" I goes, "Yeah." He says, "Call your wife. I want to talk to her." I said, "I'm not married." He said, "Well, you go. I have my girlfriend." True story. "Call your girlfriend. I want to talk to her." So I need to ride, so I punch in and I was, "Diana, what do you want?" I goes, "This guy wants to talk to you." I swear to God, I give the guy the phone, the cell phone goes, "What's wrong with this guy? What the hell's the matter with him?" And she's going, "Who the hell's this? It just was happening. Who's this? Who are you?" "Doesn't matter. He doesn't need a knee transplant. He needs a brain transplant." And he threw me out. He pulled up to my car, "Get out." I said, "Well, listen, you made me laugh. You're funny." He goes, "Ah, blah, 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 blah." I go, "Oh, I'm a comedian." "Oh, yeah, a comedian." You know, 87. So here's my business card. He's come to a comedy show. He says, "I just had a comedy show. Get out of here." And he threw me out. All in the day off. A life in the day. I mean, what the hell? But he did save my butt for the last 3 miles. It was killing me, you know. So reality, you know, you got to start thinking, do I need a new kneecap? So pretty soon I'll be in front of Walmart with a cup and a cane with a monkey. Remember that in the old days? How you doing?
We were going to talk about Leo.
Friend Leo. I met Leo in the National Guard. We were defending the country, protecting the Canadian border against the Viet Cong. Wasn't easy staying drunk 2 weeks every summer up in Camp Drum. It was hell trying to find a package store at 2 in the morning. While you slept, we protected the perimeter. So, we were in the National Guard.
I gotta stop. I gotta say, you don't understand what you're seeing on this DVD. This is material that gets thrown away. Never, the public never sees this. You see how lucky these people are? You're lucky to be seeing this because this is funnier than anything. As much as of a genius as he is on stage, this does not happen to anybody. So be thankful. Go ahead.
So Leo Wallace and I become very friends, very good friends, based on our love of one man, Jimmy Durante. He was a Durante-phile and I was a Durante. I love you, love you, love you, Sonny King and Clayton and Jackson and Durant in the old days. And I saw Durante at the old Steuben's, what a Blindstrom's, and I'm on a table screaming, sit down, and I was a nut for Durante, and all that rinka-dinka-doo, and Leo loved him. So we'd get a case of beer and go up his house, and all we do was play the old 33 records and dance around. We build up routines. I mean, I love you. And we'd be at a Hibernian Hall in Linden. Dudes, Wallace, and Seibel. I love you, and we'd be doing this. And we knew all. We knew the songs. We lip-synced them right to the record. We knew the moves. And we'd take it, Eddie. And you know, the canes. We had the outfits, the top hat. One night, we go to a Boston College football game. We got separated. It was me, him, and about 10 BC guys. And Wallace graduated. I don't know what the hell he graduated, but we were at the BC game. We got separated. In the old days, well, it's still, they go by BC, the trolley cars going to Boston. Well, I got lost, and we separated. Oh my God, I forgot this story. I don't know where he got on. Maybe I got on in Cleveland Circle. He got on over here. But we saw each other on this trolley, and it was not filled. It was like when's the game, Saturday or something? He sees me at one end of he's in the back end, and I'm here. We go, hey, I love you. And we had that trolley. We had like 15 people going, what the hell was that? This nut got on, this nut saw. They went into this whole thing with Durante, and we knew Sonny King and Clayton Jackson. When we got off the trailer, the guy driving it just like, what the hell was that? I'll never forget that. I mean, that was one of the, we got off in somewhere in Boston, and we thought we had a great, that's a gospel true story with that lunatic Leo. So being in that vein, he's a nut. He decides to go flying with me. And I said, okay, and I was flying at that time what they call a 152, and now I'm flying a 172. And so we leave Beverly Airport, and I said, listen, we'll take a flight up to Plum Island. There's a little airport there, a small strip, runs, I don't know how many, 4,000, maybe, I don't know how many feet, but it can carry a DC-3 to an engine. So I said, listen, I don't know if anybody knows about it, but there's something called density altitude. On a hot day, it takes more power and more runway because of the heat. You gotta have more, the lift factor. Yeah, I forget half the stuff I learned, but we're flying up the coast, and then you have to radio in. It's what they call CTAF, I think, common traffic, to let any aircraft in the area know that you're there and you're making your approach and you're coming in for your downwind, your base, and your final. You got to keep telling people if anybody's flying. So Leo is just entranced. He's got his camera, taking pictures of me in the beach, but he don't know what's going on in my mind. Like, let's see, he's weighing about $190. I'm weighing $170. That's a lot of weight. If we put this down, and there was a little coffee shop, a little place you could get something to drink. Oh my God. So sometimes I think I'm still alive. So now we land the plane and we pull in, and it's hotter than hell. It is intense. So I'm like, density, altitude, I forget the figures. How do you compute this? How much runway will I need? So weird thing about Plum Island Airport, there's a dispute between a landowner and the airport. He built a fence across the approach. So he chopped off so many feet of the runway. You got to leapfrog to get that bird down. And I did a good job. I landed, we were over there. So now I'm going, I'm going to take off in a tree line. It's a true story. Oh my God. I get chills when I think about it. So Leo, I says, we got to go back, we'll fly back to Beverly. So we get in the plane and I taxi out to the fence. So I get the tail just about as close to the fence as I can. And I put that thing to the wall and we ain't leaving the ground. And I'm looking down there and I'm looking at trees going, I wonder if the prop can just tread right through here. We end up in my apartment. So now, you ready? I'm got it to the wall, and I'm praying to God, if it happens, it's fast, because he's still taking pictures. He's still out there going, oh, look at it. We can still see the runway. I know we can. And I swear to God, Tommy, at the last, I pulled the yoke back, and we, no lie, those wheels just hit the top of the tree, spun off the leaves, and I went, boom, 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 and he's still taking pictures. Man, look at those trees. Yeah, I could see them. We almost took a few home. It's kind of tough landing on timber. We brought it back. He never knew. Now he knows. I'll get a call threatening my life. Another time, when I first got my license, and I'm flying around Plum Island by myself, because I like to go by myself for a while. And never get preoccupied. Always fly the plane. That's just one of the Bible things about flying. Well, I'm flying, I think it was 1,500 feet over around the Plum Island. I forget what the heights are. Certain altitudes for populated areas, blah, blah. But I get fixed on the map, and I'm flying, and I'm looking at the map, and the next thing I look down, and there are frogs running for their lives. That's how close I came to the ground. And all you heard if you were in some house was, I pulled that thing back, and I went, I'm going to kill myself on this plane.
One night at my house, you told a story about the test, when you were going to impress the gal. You had failed one test, and you got to retest it. You had the gal in the thing with you, and you said, I'm going to impress her. And so I'm going to take this baby off. Remember that? And you said,
oh, God. Her name was Brooke. She was the final, what they call CFI, Certified Flight Instructor, who was the one who got me the license. I mean, who was the one who said, I'll stick with you till you get it. And that was Plum Island. And she said, all right, I want you to give it what they call a real, there's a term I forget. Well, I scraped that whole tail along the runway. There were sparks coming off the back of the plane. And she's sitting there going, do I really want this kid as a student? You know how many times I had to go to get that? There was a man called Charlie Cashin. He passed away a month after 9/11, he died. I kept going. He was FAA. He was the man that you got to give you your license. And I went up there. One day I flew up. The wind was so bad I turned back to the airport, Beverly. Another time, what malfunction? There was something wrong with the plane. I called, I come back. Another time the radio failed. Coming into Manchester. Ooh. I'm flying into Manchester. Ooh. And they said, you're number 2 after Southwest. I like it was Southwest or whatever plane, a 730. I was lined up. So what they call it wake. When a plane lands, it creates these yeah. So I'm like, how did that go? Will it go over it or under it? I'm like, all the charts that I had read, I'm going, let me see. In order to avoid the wake, I got to wander over it. I don't know what the hell. So I did land it. I mean, I was right side up, but it was like this. You can't land a little putt-putt. It's a moped with wings. That 737 leaves a hell of a wake, man. So when do you want to go flying?
That's one thing after I hear these stories. Well, before we took off for Prague that time.
Oh, what a trip.
I saw you, but I came to the airport, and you were sitting down, because you get everywhere early, and you had been there an hour or so, but you were pretty well bandaged up. You had a cut here, you had a bandage over here, and you were black and blue in one eye. And I walked in and I said to you, what the hell happened to you? And you said, I went up in a plane. So what did you do, crash? No.
Oh my God in heaven. Oh my God, that's when I first got my license. And I had rented the plane, and I decided to run from Newburyport to the airport, which is 16 miles. So I didn't call the flight school, the place where I was renting the plane. So they were like, when the hell is he going to get here? We can rent this to somebody else. Well, I got there, and I got my charts, and I'm always in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry when you're flying. So I went in, soaking wet from running those miles. And I got my stuff. I got my company, all the protractor. I go this way, go that way. And I ran out the door of the flight school right into the tail of the wing. The sharp end, not the leading edge, the trailing edge where the ailerons are. And I sliced it. And I'm still going to fly. And the guy's going, hey, you need some gauze or something. I'm all right, give me a Band-Aid. So I took off on 9, I think. Runway 9.
Well, wait a minute. Before you took off, you told me with all this anxiety that the time was running because we know you're cheap.
Yeah, of course. I didn't want to burn the time. Of course, the clock.
So the clock's ticking.
Let's call a Hobbs. The Hobbs things. I'm not losing time. So forget about this. Let me just get in the plane and do my stuff. Well, I get up and I call the tower for an emergency landing because I couldn't see through the blood. And they granted me. They would come around and we'd clear the runway for you. So I landed. It was the whole place. How do I look? You remember all those insane, those are certain stories you want to filter. Oh yeah, so I'm going to start a flying school if anybody out there in the Acton area wants to get a pilot's license.
Oh, absolutely.
But that was another one of those things I wanted as a kid, the brother thing, and I finally got that, and the scuba diving thing, and there isn't much left. I mean, stay alive, that's all, like you. Hang on and travel, and
yep.
We're going to Iceland in June. Yeah, Iceland, people go, why? They say it's a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah, this one of the places you haven't been yet?
Yeah, no, Iceland, and just there's so much to see. There's so much on this planet as long as you just stay above the water. Stay healthy, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know what? And why we're here today is to spread the laughter. And I always say that to people, man, laugh, will you? I mean, like I say, where I'm from, I'm German, not much fun going on. I told you, I don't know if I'm redundant, but when I was on, what was the first cruise line I got fired off? Norwegian. In the contract, in fine print, it says, do not date personnel. Hey, want to go? I'm 50 or 21, and I'm in love. Took her out to eat at the Escargot in St. Martin, and her fiancé was sitting across and waving at me going, you won't get out of San Juan alive. And I got fired.
Yes, I think we...
So when I was on that Norwegian cruise line, they said, we got real people from Germany, and they won't appreciate the German stuff. I go, come on. So I did the bit, and it was not, I loved my people. I got no problem with nobody. But the next morning, I'll never forget, you've heard this, I'm walking the deck, and one of the audience members, one of the German gentlemen, looked up at me, and I go, oh, here it comes. He looked at me and went, you were very funny. Oh, wow. Yup.
So one of the things I wanted to cover, we got to get on tape, is the famous scene, and we've got to censor a lot of it, obviously, but we talked about how you're always in a hurry. You're right. You just admitted that. So we went to eat one day, and you just wanted to get a piece of pizza and a Coke, and I'm like, Bobby, we're in Prague. Let's find it. So we walk around, and then I get, I don't go in unless I get the right feeling. So we go in this beautiful little place, little Italian style deli cafe, 2 cute little Czech kids running the thing, blonde and early 20s. And so we go in, and we immediately walk to the back room, and you want to sit down. I said, Bobby, let's sit out. We can see something. See that, So we sit down, we put the order in, and it starts. And again, we got to censor a lot of this, but you said to me, did I ever tell you about my first wife, Pammy?
Yeah.
Okay, so pick it up.
Oh, no.
Pammy was good to me.
She was the same.
But that's too good for Bobby Seibel.
Yeah,
no,
so I got rid of her. She was treating me too good. So I got remarried, and I got butchered. And I was on a trip with this lady out of anonymity, and we had a rocky relationship, but we decided to patch it up by taking a 2-week cruise down the Colorado River. And a situation occurred.
In a drift boat.
It was a double bow boat, and a situation occurred on the boat. There was a situation, I saw something and I wasn't happy with it. And we won't get graphic or specific, but I overreacted. And if you're in the Grand Canyon,
well, it happened at night. It
was at night. Yeah, good.
You came outside, you found her.
I came outside and I saw a compromising situation.
Well, she was making out with the drift boat captain.
Yeah.
All right.
So I saw it, and my reaction was a word, to paraphrase, I yelled at her, see you next Tuesday. You can pick up the gist of that one. And when you yell that word in the canyon at like 11 at night when it's pitch black, the echo reverberates through the canyon all the way to Vegas. So this word that I had just announced went through the canyon, and there were lights going on all through the canyon floor where people going, did I just hear, was he talking about a football punt? A punt. He said punt. They must be playing football. He said punt. And the reaction from my spouse was a black eye. So on my face,
she yelled an equal obscenity back to the male part, and so both words were going down the canyon.
Oh yeah. So in Vegas, they thought it was like a match.
La 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 la, back and forth. So all the lights are up. You go back to the tent.
And I get.
She threw a flashlight.
I got hit by my opponent. And I had to eat breakfast with sunglasses.
Yeah, you told me for the rest of the week.
Sunday mornings, I do a Ray Charles.
Right. So I said to you, what happened the next morning? He said, what do you mean? I said, when you woke up, you got in the tent, she was making out with the guy, and she threw the thing at you, mad at you for interrupting her little soiree.
I asked her to forgive me. I would have bought flowers, but there was no market basket in the valley down there.
So
tell them the rest of it before we run out.
We got time. So all right. So you asked her to forgive you for interrupting her time with the captain, and then you found out later on that you took her on a cruise, and she did the same thing, only she actually. She was with the captain. But you didn't find out for a couple of years after that. So it was this rocky relationship, and then it culminated one night, and we were talking about it off camera, how you had a fight, and she called your mother an obscenity, and so it got pretty wild, and that was the end.
Yeah.
And then you got served papers at the Saugus Mall.
No, at the Newburyport Kmart.
Oh, we gave a beautiful place to get served
I was
papers.
Served restraining order. So I slept in greenhouses, basements. It's nice sleeping in a Hyundai in the winter.
So
again, comedy and tragedy. It's amazing.
And so obviously then you had to go to the house. The way you described it, you had to go to the house to get your stuff.
Oh, and all my bags were being.
Yeah, and the constable is on the front lawn.
Yeah.
And he says to you,
are you going to be all right? And I looked up, and as the green bags were coming out with my life's possessions, I went, I think they're serious. Yes.
And you're running around the lawn, and you're picking up the green bags, and you're stuffing them in, and he's helping you.
In a Hyundai.
In a Hyundai.
I found out you can put 7 green bags filled with your life savings in a Hyundai and still be able to drive without going airborne.
But you said your head was sticking out the window driving down Route 1. And people were beeping their horns at you because there wasn't enough room to drive with your head inside.
Of course not. And they wished me a great trip cross country. Just go on a limb.
So you're out of the house, and then you of course, with all divorce, it gets pretty crazy, but you still had feelings for this woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would you would stalk her, basically, and you followed her home one night.
That we have to delete.
Okay, right, exactly. Well, we can get around it. We can dance around it. But one of the things is that you emphasized the day that your possessions were being tossed out in green garbage bags, you know, like missiles. She had her mother and a father with her helping her.
It was a family.
It was a
family feud.
It was a family, us against Bobby. They're throwing your things out, and you're saying, but you kept repeating, "In my mother's house," because she was now living in your mother's house.
That's right.
Okay, so now one night you follow back to the house. She's with the guy.
No, this was another apartment.
It was another
Swampscott. And I was stalking.
And she went into the house with the guy.
Yeah.
And then they started.
And I was hanging off a rose trellis.
You climbed up the rose trellis.
And I yelled something.
You yelled,
we really can't.
Please, we can't say what it is, but please don't do that. Do something else instead. And
then the Swampscott police came and said, "Come on down. We'd like to talk to you. It's like 11:30 at night."
You're on the rose trellis outside the second floor.
They don't appreciate you hanging off.
So I'm sitting with you in the restaurant, dying like I have been for the last hour and a half.
Yeah.
I can't control myself, and you say to me, because I'm picturing you on the rose trellis with your face in the thing, observing the act with your wife and this other guy, and then you stop. And
trying to get a compromise.
Right, but you say to me immediately, without a breath between that story, you say to me, "Did I tell you I'm taking piano lessons?" And I am in shock. I mean, here I am in Prague, listening to this insane story, and I say, "What?" I said, "How did we go from you on a rose trellis, observing your wife in a very interesting act with another man, and to, I'm taking piano lessons?" And you say to me, I'll set it up for you, "I always wanted to play Mozart," right? So go ahead. He says, "But so I'm taking, what was the Suzuki method, yes?"
Okay, you're talking about that incident at the church?
Yes, well, you told me, but you set it up with Kenny and the instructor.
The lady that was my piano teacher was a sweetheart, and she had a son who had MS. I got to be good friends with the kid, and just compassionate. He was seriously ill with MS.
Yeah, you asked her. He said, "Who's in there?"
Oh yeah, I said, "Well, what's the story?" She goes, "My son, he's got MS." And Kenny and I became good friends. But let me just do this. She said to me. She had a very high-pitched voice. Polly, her name was. She was a sweetheart. She's gone. Kenny's gone. And she said, "Would you please perform at my next recital at the Congregational Church in Wakefield?" I go, "Well, yeah."
Hey, we're going to have to hold it. We got this. You got to hear the rest of this. We'll do this some other time.
Yeah.
But thank you for tuning in and having a great time with us. Thank you so much.